Washington Grown is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Agriculture's Specialty Crop Block Grant Program and Northwest Farm Credit Services, supporting agriculture and rural communities with reliable, consistent credit and financial services today and tomorrow.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy Goranson and welcome to Washington Grown. If you're looking for that perfect bottle of wine, you don't have to go to the south of France or the Napa Valley. You can find it right here in Washington wine country. In this episode, we're visiting Walla Walla to get a taste of what this plentiful valley has to offer. We'll be pairing wine and bites at Seven Hills Winery. Super easy and simple with fresh ingredients and some great wine. Then we'll visit Walla Walla Community College to see how future winemakers are getting their start.
If you go buy a bottle of Washington wine today, there's a 50-50 shot Walla Walla Community College grad had a hand in either growing it or making it.
And I'll be blending my very own bottle of wine. This is like my baby. All this and much more today on Washington Grown. We grow them big in Washington. You're like, I can put her to work.
Right now. Oh yeah. Are you getting tired already?
No,
Am I doing this right?
It's like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
This is one of the hardest things I've ever done on this show. Cheers. Thanks for having us. Located in the heart of Walla Walla, Seven Hills is one of the region's landmark wineries. It's a favorite for both locals and visitors alike, offering stellar wines and service. But something that makes Seven Hills extra special is their unique food and wine experience. An experience unlike any other. Guests are treated to multiple bites and wines, each one paired with a perfect counterpart.
You get to experience the wine in the way that I like to drink it, which is with food.
Usually you have a bottle of wine and you're having one thing to eat, not four things that you can try four wines with.
Sarah Roy Mayhew is the owner of Sippin' Bites, a well-known Walla Walla catering company. Danielle Christopher from Seven Hills approached Sarah to collaborate on the food and wine experience menus, and since then, they have curated some incredible pairings. So, Sarah, tell me how you and Danielle work together as far as building the menu and kind of creating your small bites.
Well, that's what's really fun is we get to sit down together, taste through the wines, talk about the wines, and then talk about different flavors and aromas, and then I start to piece together small bites to go with each one.
Together we've really created this very intimate experience where we have locally sourced produce, locally sourced food, to try to really show off what gorgeous, great food wines we have here.
The foods have worked perfectly with the wines.
I thought each of the individual pairings was really outstanding.
I love this because I feel like it gives you a really good way to taste different flavors in the wine and in the food and those combinations.
Oh, I think this is fabulous. Everybody should do this.
Later in the show, Chef Sarah will teach me how to make one of her perfect bites. Super easy and simple with fresh ingredients and some great wine. We're in the gorgeous Walla Walla Valley at Pepperbridge Winery to meet with Norm McKibben, who is a founding father of the Walla Walla wine industry. So what made you decide this is what I want to do here?
Well, I retired from corporate in 1985 and came back here, and Mike Hogue, who I'd known for a long time, came to me and said, Norm, while you were gone, I started a winery, and it's out of hand. And so I bought in with Mike.
With a few partners, Norm then decided to grow grapes on his own and started with just 10 acres.
At the time, there were 40 acres in the entire valley.
Did you know how to grow grapes then, or was it kind of like
I
learn as you go?
Yes, but I'd say no. Yeah. I ended up splitting those 10 acres into 4 parcels, and they went to Leonetti. When their bottles came out a few years later and mentioned Pepperbridge Vineyard, I started getting phone calls, can we get grapes? And it expanded to, at one point in time, 600 acres here in the valley.
Do people call you kind of the founding father of Walla Walla wine?
They called a lot of things, but the godfather sometimes.
Norm has always chosen to work with partners for their expertise and collaboration, including Jean-Francois, a winemaker he met in 1999.
Actually, I asked him, are you familiar with Walla Walla? Nope. How about Washington State? Nope. So I said, would you like to fly up and taste wine made from my grapes? And he said, yes, he would.
And here he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
We're very good friends. He's a very good partner. He's a very good winemaker.
Jean-Francois is a third-generation winemaker from Switzerland. He went to school for viticulture and winemaking and has worked in Germany, Spain, and California. Why Walla Walla?
Why Walla Walla?
Yeah.
Well, I will say frankly, I had a 2-year contract when I came here first. But, the vineyards were developing, the whole industry were developing.
Yeah.
And it was a perfect time for me to be here.
Pepperbridge Winery makes 6 different wines that are available through their tasting room, wine club, and in some stores. And so these are what type of grapes?
This is Cabernet Sauvignon. Those usually will be picked around the second week of October.
Okay, and then from there, how long until we can actually drink it?
So the 2018 vintage will be released in 2021.
Okay, I'm not sure I make that long.
Well,
that's why it's good though, right?
Patience is a very good virtue in the winemaking business.
They also have to have patience when it comes to the pests they encounter.
Probably the biggest issue we have is powdery mildew, and it will start on a canopy and migrate to the berries and really kind of devastate the grapes. Also, birds do like the grapes a lot.
Sure.
And we usually put some nettings to fight the birds, but it's fairly costly and a lot of manpower. So we actually start bringing some hawk, and they just go around the perimeter of the vineyards every day or twice a day if needed, and they just chase everybody away.
That's
so,
fantastic.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We learning still. We're still young. I've been here 20 years. We only have a chance to learn once a year. And it takes about, to learn a new site, it probably takes about 15 to 20 years to do that.
Any advice for people who are trying to maybe get into this business?
I get asked that a lot. I tell them, don't move to town unless you're an expert already. And the first question is usually, are we too late? And I tell them, no, in 20 years, you'll be a pioneer yet.
Did you know that the latitude and the angle of the sun in Washington State is similar to the great wine regions of Northern Europe? There are many ways to enjoy wine, in your cooking, in your dessert, and in your glass. With more than 900 wineries, Washington State is the second largest premium wine producer in the U.S. What was started by a few home winemakers has blossomed into a respected $4.8 billion industry. Whichever your preference, red or white, Washington grows many varieties. You can find Cabernet, Riesling, Chardonnay, and many more. Choosing wine can be a tricky business though. Typically, people choose to pair red wines with red meats like beef or lamb, and pair white wines with chicken, fish, and other seafoods. Wines can also pair well with different nuts, cheeses, and produce. So the next time you're in wine country, try doing a tasting to find your favorite Washington wine. Whichever bottle you choose, you can't go wrong if it's a Washington State wine. Cheers.
How many grape growers in the state of Washington? Well, let's go find out after the break.
Coming up, we'll be at Seven Hills Winery making beautiful bites to pair with their beautiful wines. Super easy and simple with fresh ingredients and some great wine. And we'll be in the Second Harvest Kitchen using wine to make a viewer's recipe that she learned while living in France.
Well, including me, it's over 350 wine grape growers in the state of Washington.
We're back at Seven Hills Winery getting a sneak peek of their food and wine experience. Guests are treated to 4 different wine and bite pairings, each one tasting uniquely Walla Walla.
The foods have worked perfectly with the wine.
Oh, I think this is fabulous. Everybody should do this.
It's all decided for me, and I like that, to have somebody else be the sort of like the mastermind behind it.
The mastermind behind these menus is Sarah Roy Mayhew, a local catering chef who collaborates with the Seven Hills staff to create exclusive pairing menus. So Sarah, as a caterer for Sipid Bites, you kind of, what was your reaction when you were approached to do this?
I was excited.
Yeah.
I love Seven Hills Wine, and it's a great opportunity for me to work with them. And I'm just, it's fun coming up with custom things to go with each of the wines.
So you and I get to cook a little bit later. What are we gonna make?
We are gonna make a purple potato galette. It's gonna look like a flower when we're all done plating it.
Now these are gorgeous color of purple. Is that why you like these, or?
That's exactly why I like them. They are a very deep purple, and it just makes our finished product look really, really gorgeous. And we're thin slicing them on the mandolin, and then we're going to just layer them in these muffin trays so that we have a beautiful flower. So we'll just brush the inside of our tray with a little olive oil.
This is just your regular old muffin tin.
It is. This is a little bit wider and more shallow, so it works really well for this particular dish.
You're so lucky to have these gorgeous potatoes and the Walla Walla sweet onions.
I know, and I like to caramelize them slow for a really long time so they're really rich.
Once the tray is ready, we start off by placing the thinly sliced potato petals in the bottom of the tins. Then we season the layer with salt, pepper, and thyme.
And then we're gonna take these beautiful caramelized Walla Walla sweets and just kind of spread them out here.
These are nice and rich.
And that's all natural sugar from the onion.
Yeah, no kidding. Now we repeat the process with another layer of petals.
Very simple ingredient.
It's a simple dish, but the flavors are just beautiful, and paired with the wine, it really comes together well. Yeah. So let's do it again.
Okay.
Tiny pinch of salt and pepper. I like every layer to be seasoned properly. It makes a huge difference.
We finish the layer with Walla Walla sweet onions. Add one more potato petal layer and our galette is ready to bake.
Sometimes I like to just kind of push that a little bit, and it kind of makes the flour cup out a little bit.
Sure. Sarah brushes some olive oil on top, adds a sprinkle of salt, and then it's time to send our flowers to the oven to bake for about 10 minutes. All right, so we have our lovely little flowers.
Our purple potato petunias.
To start plating our petunias, we lay down a few fresh spinach leaves.
And it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not because nature isn't.
We place our flowers onto the leaves and sprinkle on a little bit of thyme. Sarah's finishing touch is a dollop of saffron creme fraiche. Finally, we get to try these beautiful bites paired with Seven Hills 2015 Merlot. You're so lucky to have wine from here, these potatoes from here. You have the Walla Walla sweet onions. I mean, you are in such a great area.
We have it all, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's dig in.
So pretty.
Now you got to try it with the wine.
Okay. That really does go well, doesn't it?
Brings out the earthiness of the potatoes, and those caramelized Walla Walla sweets bring out the floral components in the wine.
That was really fun. Super easy and simple with fresh ingredients and some great wine.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Thank you. For Chef Sarah's recipe for Seven Hills Purple Potato Galette, head over to wagrown.com. Now I'm visiting College Cellars, where Walla Walla Community College's Enology and Viticulture program takes place under the direction of Tim Donahue.
It's a private winery, and our students get immersed in a business. We make all the wines here. The students are in charge of all the production, all the harvesting, all the growing, and then we also run College Cellars, which has its own tasting room, so they get involved in the whole thing.
And it all starts with the grapes. Out in the college's vineyards, the director of viticulture, Joel Perez, is showing me what makes this program so unique for students.
Everything that we grow here, we utilize in our winery. We have different training systems. This is what's called a lyre system, and you can see it's a lot more open in the middle.
Yeah.
Here we have a more traditional method, what we call vertical shoot positioning. Those shoots go straight up. but the fruit is slightly different as it ripens.
Oh yeah?
This fruit here, last year it tasted like very ripe pink grapefruit. These rows tasted more grassy, more green aromas.
It's not just the unique grapes that make Walla Walla special though.
Everybody that comes here, I tell them that Walla Walla is dangerous. What I mean by that is you come here and people fall in love with this place and they don't want to leave.
There's a statement that I live by. In Walla Walla, you push the person in front of you and you pull the person behind you.
People here, they really, really want to be successful and they truly want to see their neighbors be successful.
And if you go buy a bottle of Washington wine today, you go pick it up off the shelf, there's a 50-50 shot Walla Walla Community College grad had a hand in either growing it or making it.
Next, Tim is showing me their cellar to see how they turn the grapes from the vineyard into the wines we love.
The first red that'll go in here will be Sangiovese from Seven Hills, which is grown by a graduate of the program, and it's on an 8-day turn.
And I'm pretty sure the students stand up there barefoot and stomp it down.
We do some foot stomping.
Do you really?
We do, absolutely.
I was kidding.
Oh no, that's a very important piece.
What they do as far as vocational style here is something that I was looking for.
The first day was, thanks for being here. Be here at 6 a.m. We're picking semi on.
Everyone is so wonderful and it's such a diverse community.
Like first it's like, oh no, I don't ever want to go to Walla Walla. And then I came down here and I was like, oh my gosh, this place is amazing.
It's a lot of fun to craft something and then give it back and then somebody enjoy it. That's very rewarding.
I cannot believe what you guys do here in 2 years and send your students out to the world making wine.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's a pretty neat experience.
It is.
Thank you so much for coming down and spreading the word.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, I'll be blending my very own bottle of wine.
This is like my baby.
When you think of Walla Walla, you probably think of the onions or the incredible wines. But the food scene here is just exploding because there's so many incredible local ingredients found just within a 20-mile radius. And there couldn't be a better example of how all those ingredients are used than our good friends here at Why Not Pizza. I met with the owner, Shane Johnson, and asked him why he chose pizza for a food truck.
We wanted to do a food truck, and it was, between some classic burgers and pizza, and, pizza's a plate. You can put anything you want on it.
Describe the food truck scene here in Walla Walla.
So food trucks, they've started, really becoming really popular over the last few years, and having the operating costs a little bit lower, they can spend more on food. So we can buy better, higher quality food and then still offer it at an affordable price.
And speaking of high quality food, we're trying a unique pizza today, made with chicken, bacon, onions, and a huckleberry barbecue sauce, all topped on a crust made with local flour. I'm dying to try this.
Right?
Oh man, that is so good. I never would have thought about huckleberries on a pizza, but why not, right? Now I can eat this sweet and savory pie all on my own, but let's see what the people on the street think. So, have you ever thought about having huckleberries on a pizza?
No, I haven't. On a pizza?
Yeah.
No.
But I bet it'd be a good twist.
I'll try it.
All right, so take a bite.
That's really good.
Your eyes just widen.
I want the barbecue chicken with the huckleberry sauce. They play off each other real well.
I definitely taste the sweet initially, and then there's a little spice at the end.
Do you want dessert or do you want dinner?
I want both.
Oh, this is the pizza.
Totally unexpected, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
I'll definitely eat it again.
Why not, right?
My next stop is at North Star Winery, where I'm meeting with winemaker Karen Gasparati to learn about what makes North Star a unique part of the Walla Walla wine culture.
The idea of North Star came to fruition in 1994 when basically our CEO was approached by many of the founding fathers in Walla Walla. And they were kind of saying, hey, you should come to Walla Walla. This is a great place. And they came and checked it out and it was like, yeah, this is awesome.
What is it like to make wine from the grapes that are grown here?
It's amazing. We source not just from Walla Walla, but all over in Washington. Obviously here, the fruit is right there. It's like in your backyard. And I just really enjoy the quality that's right from Walla Walla. All of our fruit is hand-picked. And then we do a fermentation in an anaerobic, so without oxygen type of style, which is fairly unique.
Another thing that makes North Star special is their wine blending experience, where guests get to create their very own bottle of wine. And since I've been tasting a lot of amazing Walla Walla wine, I'm ready to try blending one myself with the help of Kathy Belcher.
What is a blending experience?
We call it the North Star Blending Experience. It's your opportunity to be winemaker for a day. We give you a tour of our vineyards. We bring you through our state-of-the-art winemaking facility. And then we bring you down here and we show you how it all comes together. And we give you tips about how to blend. And you end up blending your own bottle and take it home with you.
So we're surrounded by some very scientific looking beakers and stuff like that. So
absolutely, it's a bit of a science experiment here, but you know what our goal is we're going to build a glass of wine to your liking, and it's really important that it's your blend and what you like.
I love it. Awesome. So I get to do this tonight?
You get to do it too.
That is so cool.
Show you
okay,
how.
yeah, let's get started.
I make my way through tasting the 6 different barrels to see which wines I like best, taking notes in my blending experience notebook. Once I narrow down my favorites, Kathy helps me blend the perfect combination to try.
You think you nailed it on the first try?
No. I think it needs a little more kick, like a little bit more dryness maybe, or something at the end. I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Great job.
I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When I get my glass to taste just right, we recreate my special blend for my very own bottle.
Look at that!
Excellent.
For the finishing touch, I designed my very own label.
Kathy, that was so much fun.
Oh, I'm glad
I feel
you were able to do
this
it.
is like my baby.
Definitely
Washington grown wine.
Your own creation.
I
Well, we're
know.
happy to have you, and I hope you had a really
Thank
good
you.
time.
What a fun idea. Hi everyone, Tomas and I are here at the kitchen at Second Harvest, and we're joined by Laurent Serrati, chef and owner of the restaurant Fleur de Sel restaurant and creperie.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You've been here at Second Harvest before. You
I
teach
love
some
it here.
classes
Yes,
and
I
that
do.
sort of
I
thing.
do. I do teach class for people that need to learn how to cook, simple food with simple products.
Right, and the Second Harvest Food Bank does so much for
They do.
the community,
They do.
and the local farmers and growers do a lot for Second Harvest. I guess a third of the food that is here at Second Harvest comes from the Washington farmers, the ranchers, and the wholesalers. So pretty amazing what
It's a big organization
Second
for a
Harvest
big
does.
heart.
Yeah,
with
and they
big
have a
heart.
beautiful kitchen.
They do. They
which
do.
is where we're at. And we get to taste some recipes that have been sent in by Washington Grown viewers. So this is really exciting. And today we get to talk about wine as the ingredient.
Wine. What a beautiful region to grow wine. I mean, there's 14 AVA in the state of Washington, and it's booming. It's
We're
the
becoming
industry of
very well known for our wine. So we're going to be cooking with wine. So Lisa sent us in her recipe for traditional spaghetti bolognese.
Bolognese. That's right up my alley.
That's your neck of the
woods. I know.
So apparently she got this recipe from an Italian friend while living in France.
Well, if she
Okay.
was living in France, she must be a good cook.
There we
right?
go. So
I'm
let's find
excited.
out. Here's how we make Lisa's traditional spaghetti bolognese.
some
great.
wine.
Yeah.
So a little
Santé,
cheers
salud.
before we dig in.
Santé.
Oh. And so with this, I think they used a Walla Walla wine, Waterbrook.
Yeah, Cabernet, that's
recipe.
perfect. Big wine.
That's good.
Good. You know, she put a touch of cream at the end, and I think it brings a little more, less acidity to the tomatoes.
Is that an unusual thing to put?
It is a little unusual, but I think that's perfect because you cannot see it too much, and it's the right amount. It's not a creamy bolognese. In the classic dish, you add grated orange at the end.
Oh, okay.
And that makes a little difference on the dish, but I like what she did.
And always cook with wine that you want to drink.
Yes,
right?
Yes, exactly.
Don't cook with wine that you don't want to drink.
Well, she did a great job.
She did a good job. I love it, and it's delicious. My Italian descendants are talking to me right now.
Cheers to Lisa.
Cheers to you. Salute.
To get Lisa's recipe for spaghetti bolognese, visit wagrown.com. Now you can see you don't have to travel far to enjoy some of the world's best wines. It's right here in our backyard. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for watching.